Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming, the news show where we cover all things FPS. If you would like to skip to a specific news story, click its link on the screen, and if you're mobile, check the video description. No Man's Sky is the talk of the town this week. The space exploration game is getting mixed reviews, with many of them complaining about the lack of variety or depth. Those issues aside, it seems like the servers for the game are getting hammered so hard that some features, like being able to see other players and naming planets, aren't quite working properly. The game's creator, Sean Murray, made it clear in the past that No Man's Sky is not a co-op game, but he also said players will be able to see each other should they randomly come across one another. Personally, the lack of a co-op mode is kind of a buzzkill for me. Sandbox games often benefit hugely from having good multiplayer options. I think No Man's Sky will eventually get some kind of party system though. Whether it's via a patch from the developers or a mod is really anyone's guess. Modding is what makes games like No Man's Sky and Minecraft really worth playing. With the PC version of No Man's Sky having only been released yesterday, it's unclear how soon we can expect mod support. Murray has expressed interest in mod support for his game, but there's been no official word regarding it. Mods could be the game's saving grace if the developers don't patch in more content like co-op and more gameplay variety. I really can't think of a sandbox game that has succeeded without good mod support or multiplayer. Minecraft in particular has to be so totally overhauled by modders and patches that it hardly even resembles itself from just a couple of years ago. With a complete rewrite and VR support on the horizon for Minecraft, it's still going strong thanks to the incredible wealth of things you can do in it. If in a few months from now No Man's Sky doesn't have mod support or any additional content added to it, I doubt it will actually hold people's attention for long. Now, Rainbow Six Siege is a great example of what post-launch support can do for a game. This week, Ubisoft told IGN that the daily player total is higher today than it was when we first shipped the game. Now, I'll be the first in line to tell you Ubisoft made some mistakes with Siege's launch, but their support for the game has been fantastic so far. Each update and DLC brings meaningful changes and content to the game, making it better and more fun to play. Siege still has a long way to go before it's a top-tier esports title though. Its current Spectate client does a pretty awful job of making the action easy to understand. Cheating is also still an issue, but hopefully not for much longer now that BattleEye has been released. In re-release news, The Witcher 3's Game of the Year edition has been announced and releases on the 30th. Priced at $50, it includes the base game and both of its expansions. The Witcher 3 is easily one of the best games released in recent years, and $50 for it plus its DLC is a freaking steal. 2K also released a new trailer this week for the upcoming BioShock The Collector's Edition, which includes all 3 BioShock games and their DLC. Releasing on September 13th for $60, it's for sure worth picking up. The original BioShock is held up well over time, but its PC version has a ton of bugs that I'm sure the remaster addresses, or hopefully addresses. The Collector Edition also includes developer commentary tracks, and there's no way they won't be interesting. The BioShock series is one of the most richly detailed game franchises I've ever played. Getting to hear Kevin Levine talk about all the crazy things he wrote into the game is sure to be entertaining. Quantum Break is also getting a re-release of sorts. Slated to release September 14th, the video game / TV show mishash is coming to Steam. Unfortunately, they're most likely ending support for the Windows Store version. The head of communications at Remedy tweeted this week that it's unlikely we'll release another Windows 10 patch. This is kind of like a giant FU to all the people that bought the game on Windows Store, which still has numerous bugs and performance issues. Quantum Break being on Steam itself isn't that big a deal, but a Microsoft exclusive coming to Steam is. Microsoft has gone out of its way to compete with Steam via their own storefront this year. Them allowing their exclusives on another platform like Steam might mean the Windows Store is already showing signs of failure. Steam, without question, could use more competition to make sure that they stay competitive with their prices and their practices, but Microsoft wasn't doing it the right way. Their universal Windows platform until recently forced games to run in borderless full screen mode at locked frame rates. Having to choose what store to buy a game on, not because of the price but because of what features each store blocks you from accessing, isn't something anyone should have to deal with. It's bad for business and for gaming. Creating different versions of games for the same platform is annoying at best. Hopefully Microsoft realizes this before Gears of War 4 releases. The last thing any Gears fan wants is yet another broken PC port of what looks like a pretty compelling entry in the franchise. And personally, this is really disappointing because I've always kind of held that hope that at some point Halo might make a big comeback on the PC platform, but with the Microsoft Store doing so poorly in its early years, it's unlikely that this is going to happen, or at least happen in a good way. In hardware news, Sony might finally be revealing the updated PlayStation Neo at a special event on September 7th. Despite the recent leaks about the Neo, Sony has said basically nothing about it except briefly mentioning it in an interview with the Financial Times earlier this week. Sean Murray has suggested the Neo could fundamentally change No Man's Sky by giving his team more horsepower to render the game with. The Neo is supposedly only going to be a minor upgrade from the current PS4, so either No Man's Sky is just a few megahertz away from being a totally different looking game on console, or Murray is just overly excited about the possibility of getting a few more FPS on the console version of his game. Either way, knowing developers will have slightly less limitations to work with on console games is great. Not many current gen games have managed to hit a stable 60 FPS on either the PS4 or Xbox One. Upgraded hardware could be a big deal for some of them. Now when it comes to Overwatch, we're prepping up for the World Cup, and you can find out more information about that on the Blizzard website. It's kind of complicated, but basically you guys get to vote for who is getting picked from each country to represent you in the World Cup. In addition to that, competitive Season 1 is ending on August 17th, and it's actually going to reward you quite handsomely depending on what rank you got to. So basically you have a normal player rank that is infinite in the game, but then you also have competitive rank, which is from 0 to 100. And depending on what competitive rank you got to, whichever the highest point you had during Season 1, you will gain competitive points, which are the only points you can use to buy the golden weapons in the game, which are highly sought after. I really want to get one. Anyway, there's a chart listing off how many competitive points depending on your rank. I think I'll be getting around 120. I really wanted to push for that competitive rank 60, but I just didn't have enough time to play, and I probably won't before the end of the season. And lastly, this week's Battlefield 1 news is all about vehicles. DICE released a new trailer showing a variety of armored and unarmored vehicles. Probably the biggest thing in the trailer though wasn't the vehicles, but a few glimpses of a new desert map. DICE has already hinted that there's going to be a new map at Gamescom and a train load of new content, so we can imagine we'll probably be seeing the train behemoth as well. If they want to throw horses in there too, I'd be totally cool with that. The trailer also showed vehicle customization options for both air and land vehicle, as well as some hints at a new game mode, though nothing to indicate what it is. If you want more information on that trailer, I did a full breakdown video, which you can check out here. Anyway, that wraps it up for this week in gaming. We're going to be seeing Gamescom content very soon, and I'm looking forward to reporting on all of it. Stay tuned to the channel for more news on Battlefield and everything going on. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.